Listen to Downtown Hot Radio on the air 24 hours a day and 7 days a week.
You're now tuned in to the Real Rap Radio Show. I'm your host, Walil Archer on Downtown Hot Radio. I have a special guest with me. I have Dr. Grace. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Congratulations on your new book.
Thank you.
And let everybody know the title of your book.
Oh, the title of my book is Victory Steps to Overcome Diabetes.
And how did you come up with that title?
Oh my God, it's a long story behind this book. This book is a much needed book during this time of a raging epidemic of diabetes in the United States and worldwide, where millions of people have been diagnosed of diabetes. I decided to write this book to help people manage diabetes effectively with decreased risk of complications. And this book was inspired by my father 7 months before he died. He visited me in the United States, stayed with me for 5 months. And before he left, he said, "Can you tell people how to overcome diabetes?" And I was looking at Daddy. Do you have any idea how big of a project you are giving to me? So I didn't tell my dad yes or no if I would do it. Then it happened, and in 2021, I was diagnosed of diabetes with A1C of 10.1 and blood sugar of 428. I became a patient of diabetes, and I had no choice than to figure out how to overcome diabetes based on my experience as a doctor and also the project I did at Wicks University during my doctorate project. So I combined all my knowledge to overcome diabetes. And in 7 months, my A1C decreased to 5.4, and my blood sugar that was 428 decreased to 80. I was really amazed. And then I remember the words of my dad again: teach people how to overcome diabetes worldwide. It came real to me at that point. And I started writing this book, and I tagged it Victory Steps to Overcome Diabetes, because it exposed the secrets that I used in overcoming diabetes within a short period of time. And to God be the glory, I stopped taking medications for diabetes based on the helpful tips in my book. Okay, and this is what I want everyone on the face of the earth to know about. This is the idea behind this book. This book is great. I came up with a pyramid, which I call the Victory Steps model. It's a pyramid of discovery, determination, discipline, and doing. It was like a roadmap that I used in overcoming diabetes. In the first step, I discovered what went wrong with me. Why was I diagnosed of diabetes, And I found out that I was obese. My weight at the time was 258 pounds. And when somebody is overweight or obese, there's something we call insulin resistance. And that was what happened to me. My body was going through insulin resistance, and that's why I had that high blood sugar. And I made a decision to lose weight, just losing about 10% of my weight. I lost about 20% of my weight, and I found out that my blood sugar decreased. Okay, and also I engage in exercising. Okay, exercising about 30 minutes to 1 hour a day was also helpful in decreasing my blood sugar. And also I made the decision to eat healthy. At the time I was diagnosed, I was not eating very healthy. My diet was mainly carbohydrates. I'm a single mother, so it takes a lot to get healthy food, for myself and the family. And after I discovered that my eating habit was part of my problem, I made a decision to start eating more healthy. I use the plate method. With half of the plate is fruits and vegetables, 1/4 is carbohydrate, and 1/4 is protein. Okay, and this really helped me a lot, because when somebody has a problem with diabetes, there's not, when it's type 2 diabetes, they say your body is resistant to insulin. I knew that I had an issue with insulin, so I decreased the quantity of carbohydrate that I was eating daily. And that was very helpful in overcoming diabetes. And also stress management. At the time I was diagnosed, I was working 7 days a week, which was not good for me. When somebody's going through stressful situations like that, there are hormones in the body that increases. Hormones like cortisol will increase and glucagon will also increase. And these hormones increases blood sugar. And I made a decision to decrease my stress level. I currently work 5 days a week and I take 2 days off to rest. And that was helpful in decreasing my blood sugar. And then also sleeping adequately was another victory step. And I made a decision to sleep up to 6 to 8 hours every night, and that was very helpful in decreasing my blood sugar. And also, I started sleeping adequately, sleeping about 8 hours a day, and that was helpful. And then dental care was another big part of my victory step. It's very important for people to have good dental care. All right, because the buildup of bacteria in the mouth increases blood sugar. And I started seeing the dentist about 2 or 3 times a year. And this really helped in in decreasing my blood sugar. Okay. And these are the steps that I shared in my book. Okay. And also in chapter 13, I provided pictures of food plates. The food that I made in my own kitchen. I was just sharing that helpful tip so that people will know how to eat in a healthy way, And then in chapter 11 and 12, I provided helpful tips to lose weight because I have great experience in helping people to manage their weight, And I provided a list of medications that are good for weight management. And the helpful tips I provided is over 50 helpful tips. All right. And I provided ways to decrease the risk of chronic kidney disease, which is a complication of diabetes, and also helpful tips to manage hypertension and even high cholesterol. Okay. My book is full of information, helpful information to help people manage diabetes and overcome the complications as well. And I want everyone to purchase this book. It's not just for people with diabetes alone, it's a book for everyone. Because I want to just share one quick story, because the pediatric population, they are not aware they have diabetes among them. And recently, my son was diagnosed of prediabetes, which was very, very frightening to me. I actually asked the doctor to test to get a blood test of A1C on my son because of the symptoms he had, and it came back positive for pre-diabetes. And my son ran to me, "Mommy, what shall I do?" I made him to watch my video on victory steps, and he watched that video and said, "Mommy, I get it. It's because of the potato chips I'm eating." And he cleaned out his room. He got out all the Takis, potato chips, and my son started exercising more often and eating more healthy. And he stopped buying fast food. I make food for him, good food, but how teenagers are, they want it their own way. But he learned the hard way. And to God be the glory, he overcame diabetes within 6 months. When we checked his A1C again, it decreased. All right. And the doctor was so pleased with him. And now he knows to eat more healthy and live a very healthy life. The reason I brought this up is to make the pediatric population to be aware that diabetes is real. And this diabetes can happen to anybody, whether old, young. Diabetes does not discriminate. It can affect anyone. And we all should be mindful in the United States and live a healthy life, so that we will not be diagnosed of diabetes. And even the ones that are already diagnosed, you manage their diabetes effectively so they don't end up with complications associated with diabetes, because diabetes is a wildfire. It affects almost every organ in the body. And some people end up with amputation of their legs. Some people lose their eyesight. Just from the complication of diabetes if blood sugar remain uncontrolled. All right, this was the idea behind my book, just to help people. And in obedience to my father, I wrote this book.
That's a lot of information. What I did not know is that dentists can help you with your diabetes. I didn't know getting your teeth clean can actually
Yes,
help. So that
yes,
was
it decreases
yeah,
blood
so that
sugar.
was yeah, that was very, very good information there. Then you also said another tip was sleeping, getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep,
Yes.
exercising.
Yes, exercising 30 minutes to 1 hour every day, weightlifting, running on the treadmill, push up, sit up. Oh my God. Do lots of exercise, exercise all the muscles of the body. It's very important to overcome diabetes. I like today, I was on my treadmill for about 15 minutes this morning. And when I checked my blood sugar about noon today, my blood sugar was 76. And I was like, my goodness. And I was getting ready to go and take a walk after lunchtime. And I had to quickly get some snack before I started taking a walk this afternoon. I'm just telling you this to let you know that it's so important that everyone should exercise, very important. Whether you are diabetic or not, exercise is a good regimen for daily living.
Another thing you added is you cut back on work instead of working 7 days, you cut back to 5 days. So
Yes,
working less. And of course, eating healthier
yes,
is all the keys to steps to decrease diabetes or to improve your diabetes. So that was some good
yes,
information. So let's
yes.
talk more about your book. Where can they purchase your book at or find your book online?
It's available in most online bookstores such as Amazon.com. It's also available on Apple.com. It's on Barnes and Nobles. It's available everywhere. Most online stores have it.
And how many chapters do you have in your book?
I have 36 chapters.
Okay. And are you
I
self-pub
know it's not a lot.
are you self-published?
I published my book through Articles Publishing.
Okay. And they also did your book cover?
Yes.
Nice.
My book cover was locally designed. My book was inspired by the Holy Spirit. I have to add that on. When I was trying to come up with the book cover, it was quite difficult. And I was just praying about it. And, I came up with that. I prayed God lead me to a good graphic designer, and yes, He did. I went to Augusta Blueprints, which is locally uh, locally in this Augusta where I live, and they did an excellent job. Came up with the pyramids, the glucometer, the vitry steps, and everything was so well blended together, and it looked great, though. Just what I wished for.
How long did it take you to write your book?
Oh Lord, it took forever. Since 2019, when my father died, that was when I started putting my book together. And it came real after I was diagnosed of diabetes and I overcame diabetes. That was when I knew I knew that I need to complete the book, because I just felt that there are so many people out there that need this information, and if I could do it, others can. I really thought that no one could overcome diabetes. I just really thought, oh, when you have it, it's a forever diagnosis. But based on what I know now, I think people can overcome their diabetes. And I'm not against taking medications, because I took medications until I was able to overcome diabetes, and then I stopped taking medications thereafter. So, your doctor will gradually taper you off medication based on the blood sugar reading and the A1C. That was what my doctor did for me, and I really encourage people to do the right thing, follow the victory steps to overcome diabetes, which I just discussed about: maintaining a healthy weight, exercising regularly, eating healthy, stress management, sleeping adequately, dental care. Those are the main victory steps. And sure they will be able to overcome diabetes like I did. There is definitely hope for everyone.
Now, in these days and times, stress is at an all-time high. What are some tips you could offer to listeners to manage their stress?
I listed the stress management techniques in the book. Unless you want me to give out some of it, I listed over 25 steps to to overcome diabetes through stress management. You know, even listening to music is one of them. Listening to comedy shows, reading, taking a walk, gardening, exercising. Calling a good friend on the phone is also a way to manage stress effectively. And listening to motivational speakers, even listening to, pastors that speak about hope, there's just abundance of ways to manage stress effectively. And if it becomes a problem, I advise that person, that individual should tell their doctors to refer them to a counselor to get the help that they need. All right, there's no need to suffer in silence, because having a good stress management plan is important in overcoming diabetes. Very, very important.
And when you say eat properly or eat healthy, what would you recommend? What would be 2 or 3 dishes you would recommend as far as eating healthy?
I have a long list in my book in chapter 13. All right. I encourage people to eat whole grain. Whole grain, if they want to eat carbohydrates, low glycemic whole grains such as oats. Like my breakfast is usually oats, the steel cut oats that I love eating with almond milk, and I add on blueberries as my fruits. Then make some egg, just scrambled egg with olive oil. That's what my breakfast usually look like. And sometimes I made pancake, but the flour is from oat flour, and I use it to make my pancake, okay? And add on a lot of blueberries. Blueberries decreases blood sugar. That's why I'm so much in love with blueberries, okay? And then for lunch, I always advise things like brown rice is very good. The Okubens brown rice, the basmati brown rice, they are great choices. Even quinoa is good. Corn on the cob is a good carbohydrate. Sweet potato is a very good carbohydrate, okay? Even wheat, wheat is good. If you have to eat mac and cheese, let it be wheat. If you have to eat spaghetti, let it be made from wheat. I will advise that people should be selective when they go and purchase their grocery. Read the labels very well. And even in one of the chapters, I provided helpful hints in reading labels. And also for the meat section, I described the plate method. The plate method is divided into 3. One section is the fruits and vegetables, all right, like salad, spinach. Spinach is very good, all right. Spinach actually decreases blood sugar. And then one of the section is the carbohydrate. Just a quarter portion of that plate should be low glycemic carbohydrate, like the food I just listed. All right, the corn on the cob, sweet potato, brown rice, even beans. Beans is my favorite. I know black-eyed beans. There's almost no day I don't eat beans. Beans lowers blood sugar. It's one of my secrets in overcoming diabetes. And then the other section is meat. Eat healthy meat, something like salmon fish, that's my favorite, mackerel, chicken breast, grilled or roasted. Just avoid fried meats, okay? And also just avoid fast food if you can. And if you want to eat fast food, just eat a healthy fast food. I always go to this restaurant called Longhorn Steakhouse because they have very healthy selections. That's my advice on eating healthy. And also tea, the beverages, I discussed a list of beverages in my book as well. Like green tea is very good. Black tea is good. Even black coffee is very good. Bitter leaf tea is good. And also I provided a chapter for spices, the spices you add onto your food, like cinnamon, ginger is good, cilantro. I added cilantro to my egg today, and I think that was why my blood sugar had decreased to 76, because cilantro decreases blood sugar. You know, rosemary decreases blood sugar. And also I provided a chapter in the book that lists the vitamins and the minerals that we can take, because a mineral like chromium was very helpful to me in overcoming diabetes. When I was diagnosed, they only prescribed metformin 500 milligram twice a day for me. And it was difficult to decrease my blood sugar because it was so high in the 400. And, you know, I was just praying to God to help me. And I was researching online. And I found on the National Institute of Health website that chromium is very helpful in decreasing blood sugar. And I just told myself at that point, Lord Jesus, you've given me the secret. And I bought a chromium from Amazon. I put a picture of the chromium in my book. And I started taking chromium once a day, along with the metformin twice a day. And that was how I was able to decrease my blood sugar so quickly. And also in that chapter, I also included vitamin D. Vitamin D is very important in overcoming diabetes, okay? And most people that have type 2 diabetes are deficient in vitamin D. And just taking vitamin D every day is very helpful. And B vitamins are also very good. So I made a whole list of helpful vitamins in that chapter, even probiotic. You know, taking probiotic is helpful in decreasing blood sugar. And eating yogurt, the Greek yogurt, is helpful as well. All right. You know, I've learned a lot these 4 years that I spent writing my book, and I believe it is possible for us to overcome this soaring epidemic of diabetes. Nobody should die from diabetes. And I encourage them to buy my book to get helpful tips to overcome diabetes. My book is not about making money, it's about helping people. All right. I give out this book to people all the time. Even today, I've given out up to 2 copies at work. I just want people to know the truth. I just want people to know the secret of overcoming diabetes. I just want people to have hope, because I work in the healthcare system. I see how people suffer from diabetes. My cousin died from diabetes. All right. I have a very strong family history of diabetes. My sister is still on insulin. Okay, I'm trying to get copies of this book to Africa so people can, you know, benefit from it as well. You know, people are suffering from diabetes. I've heard so much stories, and it really hurts me so much to see that people are dying from this disease that I have overcome by the grace of God. And I want to give out all my secrets. Heaven does not need my secrets. Okay, I don't want to stand before the judgment throne of God and God asks me, I gave you the knowledge. Why did you keep it to yourself? You understand me? So this is why I decided to let it all out in my book. Why keep the secrets? Why? Why will I watch my brother or sister die from diabetes when I have the secret to overcome this disease? This is what it's all about.
Understood. And as we close out, any final thoughts or closing remarks?
Yeah, my final thought is please purchase my book and tell others about it. There is hope that you can overcome diabetes.
And where can they find you at on social media?
Oh, I'm all over. Just type in my name on any browser, Grace Ogala, and I'm sure some information will come up. On YouTube, I have a channel called Amazing Grace Health Center. I have over 21 videos on management of diabetes. Those videos are very helpful. That was the video my son watched, and he got all the ideas to overcome diabetes. So those videos are funny, interesting, and please watch my videos on YouTube. And also I'm on TikTok, and just find me. Just type in my name, you'll find me there. And also on Facebook, I'm big on Facebook. On Facebook, Amazing Grace Health Center. is one of my Facebook pages. And then I have another page called Amazing Grace Diabetes and Weight Loss Center. I post a lot of videos there, and very good post as well is on that page. And I mean, people can send me messages on Messenger, and my phone number is 706 2204625. Anybody can text me on that number, and also they can email me at victorysteps@yahoo.com. I'm very easygoing. Trust me, I will return your call, and I will, respond to your text message within a week. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you for doing your interview today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So that's my time today on the Real Rap Radio Show. And I'll see you guys next time on a Real Rap Radio Show with Walil Archer on Downtown Hott Radio.
Listen to Downtown Hott Radio on the air 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Tune in by downloading the Downtown Hott Radio's mobile app. Listen on our website, www.downtownhottradio.com.